Welcome everyone to another after work video here. Watch Linux kernel developer do kernel development, Linux distribution, rebase all their patches. Maybe we could actually continue it live stream on Twitch, and when it's some useful stream, publish it on YouTube or so. Leave in the comments below. So on YouTube, previously you have seen me quickly get an overview of 3.8 patch updates, and there were quite some. So due to some random changes, we need to read quite some stuff. Let's start. Okay, this is actually Z, because do I still have Z open here? Yes. Let's, for me also for others documents, is IA-64 third tree at also not that. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's actually what I copied but not wanted. So that is there. It's a nice header. So git diff that, probably there is an even more amazing syntax. Leave in the comments below. The origin master whatnot didn't instantly work, so YOLO. T2 package Linux IA-64, and I nearly did this wrong. Of course, I want to append. That is what I trimmed that for. So let's see if it builds. Let's see if it applies. It's set to apply, but we have, like, that might apply, according to Thomas. But because I reverted PS3, so also our SPD DDR5 stuff. Yeah, so not sure if we were at Itanium. Maybe we were. We will see in a second. So yeah, now we go through all the patches. Is this already Itanium or? Oh, maybe not. Okay, fair enough. But it doesn't matter. We need to rediff that here too. So what rejected there? So we checked that already, right? Earlier, it's a lunch break live on YouTube. That was Discord here. I did not diff, or did I? Right, actually, they had probably even 3 changes. Where am I? Was it Trevor's video? Oh, I lost overview. Yeah, the sorting is not 100% perfect. This is why I remember quite some stuff, but not always. So let's see. Yeah, this was multiple stuff. Let's see what does not apply. Yeah, quite some. Yeah, so that one. That is this. At least this flex. Let's see. Is that? Yeah, maybe not that. So the irony is cool, that even applies probably. So they added here that one, virtual frame buffer, and ironically, we don't even want that. So I do it often. So because I want to do, wait, this is, I probably edit this now. Too much less RAM. PS3, FB, VRAM. Reads. Fast. I directly edit the patch, right? Like, usually, why do I do this? Because often if it's very large, like this or larger, and a lot of stuff doesn't apply, often it's faster for me. It might be a little bit non-standard and stuff. Leave in the comments below, but it might be a little bit exotic or so. Ah, yeah, that applied. But I learned 20 years ago, like, that's the fastest, like orders of magnitudes faster than copy and pasting all the stuff and making, because the normal way would be to sort the stuff into a new file and diff that. But like, it's basically cutting 10 plus times. So that is Intel GPU enablement for non-x86. let's see what's going on here. Okay, that is just some tiny little bit include things. It's absolutely mind-blowing. They changed so much, and yet my relatively not the smallest non-x86 patch here still mostly applies except one. I mean, of the one thing they changed, it's include headers. So that was, all right, this was FPU API. FPU API. Probably context changed in some way. Like diff context. It's if the surrounding context changes, then the unified diff doesn't apply anymore. So x86, does this match for something for that? FPU, so we just inject that here. This has a benefit of being minimal and not diffing for our source tree, not so your CPU features there is new. So that is why that doesn't apply anymore. I probably, maybe I should really work on getting some more patches upstream, but shall I can subscribe for all this good upstreaming, right? So next patch, I redo this because it's always one more patch, right? So we have a couple of those. Let's see what's this time. That is our just recently done, right? High performance RISC-V hopefully coming my way. So shall I subscribe for soon? More than, no, not more. Thread ripping RISC-V soon, live on our channels, hopefully if everything goes well. So next thing, we have just done that the other weekend, and oh wow, that is actually, or is it upstream now? Is there a chance that this is, no, that is not upstream. Because they somehow, where would they use this number errata list? So they applied some number thing, but not vector. So no, this number became 3. Oh wait, no wait, it is. They make vector 3. Why do they make vector 3? Why do they even do that like that? But this is 2. Did they remove some errata? Did I use okay, not sure what happened there. We could. Often I research not only for this live streams, just so that I know what's going on. I often take a look. So the normal way to rebase stuff is copy and paste this stuff over there. So one is this first after threads vector. Where was that even? Here? No. Where was it in? So that has vector. There is this vector. we paste that here. Oh, what's wrong with me? Then RISC-V vector. So this is how it usually works, like not manually editing patches. But I like this technique. I have absolutely no idea. I think I've probably never, like, leave in the comments below if you ever seen that. I've rarely seen that. I'm not sure if ever. I mean, maybe Claire at Rock Linux did that too, but I mean, yeah, leave in the comments. Maybe I should make a questionnaire. The amount of people who, yeah, it's probably a crazy it's probably an outlaw technique, but I love it. So RISC-V vectors. So we have here two changes. The first was here. So that was vector H. Oh, my typing really. So vector H, and that here is errata list. So delete, we need that somewhere else. Errata list. And that probably we need to be careful now not to lose errata list. That is here 3 number piece. So they removed CMO for some reason. Whatever that was for. And that apparently was a tab. This is how it looks. And also if we, I mean, not only my outlaw technique, right? Not only it saves me usually like orders of magnitude time, but it also keeps his patches. I mean, yeah, sure, they might like fuzz apply 1 or 2 or whatnot or more, but I rather have my patches with applying with some fuzz of 1, 2, 3 lines or whatnot than polluting the version control history, right? Because otherwise, okay, this is okay, we need to do this right. So I've seen that all early on YouTube when we got an early look, right? So I expected all of those already, no surprise here. So that is somehow RISC-V of all things. Maybe likely just context, of course. Not RISC-V. What was it, parity or what did it was something like parity, right? I don't know, what was it? Wait. Here is that. So we have here arch H white. Wait. What do we have here? It's furlong. Is it still test and op bit ord? I guess I did I not? Where did I paste it here? I would basically not. I don't know where the space really was here, but let's do that like that. So that is some parity patch of 1 of 2 maybe, RISC-V. Yeah, it's context changed here. So I just copy and paste it into the, just to keep this as minimal invasive as possible. Why is automate your profile pic on GitHub? Why not? Is there something wrong with it? Is it good, bad? Leave in the comments below. Okay, looks like we finished the first round. So unfortunately, this will not probably not build for stupid reasons. Namely, somehow the latest kernel. I'm not a big fan. I just liked it, but thank you nonetheless. I can't be. Can't basically have no time between all the code fixing to be more of a fan. So we need to change to GCC, or at least, yeah, it's anyway slightly faster. Also, I think this is a little bit Frankenstein now. I might change this to GCC, but due to the way our Symlink magic works, it will still build with Clang. But what it does is probably it should not build with LTO. We will see. So it will still, the Symlink will still be Clang, but our configuration logic will not enable LTO, I believe. Or would it? Okay, you know what, let's not make agreements. The problem is Clang is so slow with LTO, it builds 7 minutes on a 7950X, so maybe we rather change the Symlink. Because currently it's Clang. So, yeah, we have some more patches, so maybe we cancel this in just a second. You know what? Let's cancel this already, because we have. I should maybe. So we probably want to rediff that unless it was done upstream. That we need to review too. So basically AMD, Linux kernel and AMD developers were somehow not clever enough to realize that some bug also affected Zen 3, and so the problem is I should have documented. So how many freaking patches do we have in the meantime? 68 patches. Oh man. Yeah, so those will of course not apply. Let's do this again. So one patch I've stolen here. This one I've stolen from Intel Clear Linux, as there's nothing else to steal, but at least some patch that just speed up booting just a tiny little bit. Where is failed drivers make file? Where is, did I not find for rejected? Not sure what I tried to find there. So that was what even did this patch do? So the patch only changed linking order also. Conf dir. What even was the bloody patch name? Intel idle initialize. Here 01. All right, I think it was like initialize ATA in threads, like start those threads already. So all the bloody timeout already. ATA init long poll in the boot process, asynchronous moves the graphic init after it, so that AT in graphic initializes in parallel. Okay, so that part didn't blend for some reason, so it's just moving that stuff. It's like your init order is this makefile object order, in case you wondered. So maybe only context changed. Let's see. So that was GPU and video FBDev. So we should have this twice now, shouldn't we? Because the other... So where was this now? This was later, right? We will see in the diff in a second. It should only be context. So the other was was it FB? So it's GPU and IA-18 and Intel FB. Maybe they deleted Intel FB. Look at that. Maybe potentially they deleted some Intel FB. Maybe that is why this context didn't apply anymore. Is this block? Okay, let's see what is our... Does this look reasonable? Minus GPU, FBDev. I'm not really sure why that is the only one, by the way, in there, but it's basically, I mean, it's all of GPU. Why is this, by the way, where's the rest of FBDev? Ah, because they hard depend on AGP. Ah, okay. Okay. I really wonder, this I've stolen this 2 years ago from Intel Clear Linux, so approximately right. I've stolen this initialization order patch, like it's super trivial. Like why is this trivial patch not in Linux kernel upstream for 2, 4 or 5 years, right? But I mean, as long as T2 is the best Linux, followed by Intel Clear Linux, I probably shouldn't care less why it's not upstream. It just make me wonder, right? Like Intel with their Clear Linux things, that is better and saves boot time. Like why is that not upstream? I don't get it. I really don't. But yeah, again, as long as T2 is the last and only Linux distribution you will ever need, that is fine with me. So that was somewhere SATA. Was it not SATA or ATA? I wonder, by the way, if this includes SCSI. Maybe we should check another day. By the way, this was just this patch, right? Or it's probably all of this here. Maybe we should check one day if... Actually, we could check this now. So, and... does this make sense that this only nice, and that is why you version stuff and not like other Linux distributions, they hide this in tarballs or just have it on mirrors, right? Like why is T2 such a superior developer experience? Because we just version the stuff like it is intended to be. And with this we clearly see that they removed Intel FB, right? Is that not amazing? If that is not amazing precise quality, then I don't know what is. Oops, no, I probably just deleted it while it... Or, yeah. Okay, let's do this again. Just did some cleanup. Where are we? We are at AM... Because I wonder if Itanium already applied. But yeah, I think Itanium should have applied already fully because parity depends on Itanium, because of course the parity stuff includes it. So as DDR5 SPD driver parity stuff depends on Itanium. So so they AMD, they moved this in, I mean this initial AMD Zen initialization was completely not the best code. So it doesn't surprise me that they moved it a lot, refactored it a little bit. It was long overdue. So problem is now, this patch, I think I can turn on the 59. The question is now, do I have I updated the BIOS. Because the question is, this was required CPU cap, right? Do we have this in the? The question is, was this fix for this? I should have documented that better. So I tried to have reasonable commit messages, but even then in moments like this, even I realize our commit messages, my commit messages could be even better. Because now I don't know even for which, and that's also the thing, right? Instead of arguing with AMD, means they already don't release microcode. There's also a limit of how much time I can waste on. I have really many patches in the meantime. One could really think that a lot of things are freaking broken. Right, it's in. Which even was the smooth? Here. Fix AMD Zen X saves for Zen 3.2. It's 1 year ago. It might have been this XYMM state rollback. Oh, darn it. Focus. AMD Zen Hammer. The problem is I can't even test it now because obviously I run a kernel with this mitigated. It probably was that one here. I think AMD only acknowledged it for Zen 2, but I instantly found it in covers Zen 3.2 and it should be fixed upstream. I mean, the thing is, theoretically, AMD said we have microcode, right? Just for desktops, they have not. The question is even, do I have newer microcode? I didn't even check that. And where is my, here's my. The microcode revision is in here, isn't it? Is this in messages? So we have now, when did I update? In November? A2? A209? Oh, there is a new microcode update. It is a new microcode. So the last, but I didn't even check that instantly. But then the latest, what is it even, ASUS? So that is, what is it, 9? So yeah, that's slightly. Then the question is, does this still apply? Oh, so many complex AMD Intel security mitigations. I mean, I could build this kernel, copy it over, boot it. I guess that would be the right thing to do. So much work the open source developers need to do on the behalf of Intel and AMD before all their broken silicon, and not acknowledging the stuff. I wonder if they. The last time I checked, remember the AMD speculative Covfefe errata we uncovered and AMD acknowledged, and the media didn't even report it the most. I actually, when this was new, I asked AMD for here's the errata 1485. So when I uncovered that and AMD acknowledged that and patched the Linux kernel, I believe, Yeah, thank you very much. So AMD has still not published that apparently, right? So, because when AMD acknowledged it to me and said, yeah, that's errata 1485, and I was like, yeah, cool, can I see this errata document? They were like, it's being written right now. It's like, okay, cool, so the errata is due to my discovery, that's cool. And they're like, yeah, we will publish it soon. So like, that's like what, like half a year later, also October, like half a year later, where is the bloody errata? I probably should reply to this AMD people like, okay, about this errata, about last night, by the way, what is this erratum 1485? Because I still don't even, I know those CPUs can misspeculate. I don't even, I mean, I know what kind of load pattern can trigger it, but it's not like AMD told me it's this and that specific state, because they have not even published this bloody document. At least as for like, okay, let's see if, not like if we Google for AMD. It's like, yeah, all the news is like YouTuber, like German YouTuber with this funny little news distribution discovers yet another AMD speculative CoFEFE mitigation vulnerability, but oh cool, we were on Yahoo Finances. Cool, we were on Yahoo Finances. The life circle is complete. Amazing. So yeah, whatever, I guess, CoFEFE. I named it CoFEFE because the hex pattern of the address where it usually was close to CoFEFE. It was like CoFEA or whatever. Yeah, so much to spending some extra after work time on following up on all the crazy bugs and CPU bugs and speculation. And there was no, actually I wanted, this was on Zen project? Okay, whatever. Yeah, we were on Slashdot. Did someone repost us on Logan Abbott? Where is even here? But that's probably just a repost from, that is Tom's Hardware. Okay, that is really shady. I'm really pissed with them because they did not mention me in this. In this bloody post, they don't mention me. How disrespectful is it? And I registered 5 freaking times because obviously I have better things to do in my life than having a bloody Tom's Hardware account. So I registered newly to post there. By the way, the researcher who discovered this is me, right? And I was instantly deleted for spam, auto spam bot protection, right? So I did what every clever person did. I registered again, posted somewhere else, waited an hour, and then posted there, by the way, this was discovered by René Rebe, thank you for mentioning, and it was deleted again. So and then I thought, okay, they really want that I don't use an email account. So I used my precious Gmail account, clicked here on comment. It's like, yeah, 0 comment, yeah, because all the 5 freaking comment attempts of mine were effing deleted. Thanks for that. Brave new world, free speech. The bots are all over the internet and the humans are being deleted. And okay. I'm clever. 3 times, you fool me once, you fool me twice, but 3rd time, I finally connect my bloody Gmail account. I clicked here comment log in Gmail because, okay, if I use my decade-old Gmail account, it's probably verified enough not to be a bot. And I posted the next day, of course, I'm clever, I wait a day. 12 hours later, I post with the 3rd account, probably even from another IP address, just because, like at home with LTE or stuff, from my linked Google account, just it also being instantly deleted. Like, you know what, Tom's Hardware, go fuck yourself with your bloody fake news. Can't even, like, I mean, how can they in such an, even Phoronix mentioned to mention me. Even Phoronix mentioned it. And then Tom's Hardware copies Phoronix and doesn't even mention me anymore. And that is how security researchers and open source developers should not even get paid for their work and not even freaking mentioned in news. I mean, the one thing a token of gratitude and appreciation would be naming the freaking author and scientist. That is the one thing you could really have done. Thanks for nothing, Tom's Hardware. It's not like I will ever recommend your bloody failing news site again. Cool, so that build, we probably have rebased everything in Titanium. Of course, Thomas has done the biggest work of rediffing Titanium, keeping Titanium alive, because that is what we do. All the other stuff is in amazing shape. Of course, we will not commit it today because we are professionals. We wait for .1 for the first professional round of the most grave and important bug fixes. Is my 59. So it's ASUS, the lead right since the last BIOS update, which the last BIOS update for the X570 workstation board, 330 euro board when new, Workstation Pro. I just checked last week, they don't have a new BIOS update for, I think the last is last year or so. Yeah. I wonder if even, probably it doesn't even have a chance to have this mitigation, because ASUS X570 Pro workstation. Because this BIOS is not even new enough. Or is it? Maybe. I mean, this bug, how old is this bug? This was last year. Reject, go to hell with your bloody cookies. Is it support? Oh. Where is the bloody, oh, here's support. It's a small print here. Of course, there is support, top-notch UI design. So it's probably, okay, it's not that old. Do I run? Yeah, I run this. I remember 4702. I mean, okay, it's not that super old. It's only 5 months. 11, 12, 1. I don't know. Does it have a chance? From when was this mitigation? This was, I mean, okay, maybe there is a chance that they have updated this mitigation for that. Build x86. What do I even run there? Probably not the newest. 6. Oh, wait. With the amount of changes, the .1 will not take long to come out. Yeah, I mean, usually within a week. So probably we will have, as usually we have, I mean, the last time I was impatient. I mean, the last time it probably took a week. The last time for some reason, I don't even know which one anymore, I was unprofessional and eventually updated that maybe to 1. But we should, I mean, we increasingly get more users and stuff. So we should really wait a week for things to, for the most important things to settle. So we will have at least have 6, 7, 10 then the next days, and I keep this working copy to commit then as soon as 6, 8, 1 is out. Maybe our rule of thumb should be sometimes there are so grave bugs that they need to spin .1 or whatnot very quickly, like within a day, like some major showstopper thing, and maybe we should make it .1, or if .1 is tiny, because that was a totally ridiculous showstopper thing, then we should probably wait for actually .2. for our professionals, business and embedded customers, not that some self-driving cars drives into some concrete block or so, that were some SpaceX rockets reboots in the middle of taking off. Let's kexec that. I think that worked on this machine usually. Kexec. The question is that how old is this installation? Because this was older, right? Wasn't it? I need to be careful. I mean, I probably I should update all my systems. Yeah, this is too old. Because this, it's just some years old, as this doesn't have kexec support and this is 5-unit scripts. So we need to force it. Which works, but is of course an ugly clutch. I basically should reinstall everything to have here one, I mean, maybe even update infrastructure to even diskless boot them all, like boot them all from a centralized server and stuff, but yeah. I should. I mean, there are always so many things you should. So we use line, and then we were lost. I think it was it Z to force instantly? It has been some days since I had done that. So I don't have boot output from that, unfortunately, unless I would, because I use it so headless. Give it, already came back. So, and what we just rebased together actually freaking boots. And now the question is, this, I believe it was this one. The problem is I should have, as I mentioned earlier, I should have really commented that for which, but the problem is, in that moment you work on stuff for hours and then you think it's obvious, and that's of course why commit messages are not better, and even my own at times not. So how was it? Run that. How was it with this hammer? You had to run this hammer program that also clobbers the. How was this? However, if you run, okay, so then, okay, that, however, if you run the attached program hammer, it just runs scheduled in a loop and then pins this test case to the same core as that. So, okay, it probably was it that? Right now it does not occur. I should have a before test. I believe it was like that. I mean, maybe they really changed the microcode. The problem is now the microcode is in the BIOS. And that is why I hate that AMD is not distributing microcode for consumer. The only way you get it currently and the last years is through the BIOS. I mean, it appears that it's fixed then, so then, I mean, at least it works for me. That's probably good enough. I'm pretty sure it was this one, wasn't it? Okay, it's probably good enough. That's probably all we need for today. We could do one last performance test. Oh wait, we don't really need F2. Okay, fine, doesn't matter. x86. boots this on this 7950X. So only, yeah, let's kexec that, because then we can do a quick performance test. Was that new enough for? $2023,925. Probably should be new enough, huh? Do I still have my kexec helper? $680T2. What was there even in there? Not really much. So why this? Also this is kind of, because it is reusing command line because other architectures don't support this. Okay, that probably should be fine. Let's see, it probably should work like that. And that's the thing that I should have reinstalled, but also just a testament how on a daily basis, 4 or 5 years now, the 5th year or so, live on YouTube, I fix here bugs. Because historically I didn't even use kexec much, right? Except at some customers and some data centers and stuff. It's something else of using it somewhere sometimes and being able to just use it in your Linux distribution. And just so much stuff we fixed, right? As this worked, kexec that. Because then let's make a quick performance test, which is rebuild the same kernel again. I mean, it's a little bit apples and oranges because previously I probably had an uptime of a month. So, and I also suspended to disk like easily 20 times or so for energy saving and stuff. And so, of course, the performance of a kernel that has a month of memory fragmentation. Although, I mean, theoretically, suspend to disk or suspend to memory, some suspend to hibernation should not really, I mean, should not, but you never know what crazy hardware state is going on, like hardware bugs and suspend resume, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, could always be performance difference, but it's not a scientific thing here now. It's just some ballpark figures of, has the new kernel a severe performance regression, because once we found a 2000% better FS regression, right? Plus all the other regressions, but once as reported on Phoronix and stuff, 2000, no kidding %. Yes, it was freaking slow. That is how I noticed. Quickly rebuild some stuff like, dude, why is that so slow? If just other people would test their stuff, then actually maybe something would actually work. So this has some noise here, so that has here, of course, I now know, probably this is until LVM Clang failed, so like all of this stuff, it's like, yeah, patch is not applying, right? So all of this stuff is garbage from earlier today, from lunch break or whatever. And also here, like this is also like 5 seconds until patches failed, but the full build took 5 minutes, which is actually quite, what did we use? Clang? It's actually relatively slowish, right? That's interesting because I thought, and that's really, I need even better systematic test unit testing. I thought with all the performance improvements I was down with this Ryzen to 4 minutes. Now apparently it takes 5. I mean, the Linux kernel is larger and stuff, but whatever. By the way, one fun fact, all the vintage and retro stuff here from some previous live, even today, and I, no kidding, enjoyed listening to my audiophile CD quality audio on a Gravis ultrasound, aimed interwave. We test our stuff, but some stuff, I mean, not only am I to do, coming up sometime soon, somehow ISA plug and play, ISA PNP, yes, ISA cards at the end had plug and play with some fancy IO port poking. And I realized we didn't build with PNP BIOS, and I had hoped that maybe that fixes, for example, the Gravis ultrasound to autoload, but it didn't. But it has, I mean, not only except I also fixed or documented and fixed some other exec drivers, and even completed my overview of where are bugs and stuff and workarounds. So for example, yesterday or so, or the day before yesterday, the Trident card didn't have output, but turns out it can have output. So there are multiple drivers, exec drivers, that due to change defaults and whatnot, or maybe removed of 24-bit support, didn't have output, right? One was Trident, I believe. The other was Cyrus, probably. Maybe SIS2. So yeah, so much to the only constant is change and regressions, and then drivers that should work don't anymore because default and stuff touched. But one thing is because I had to debug why the freaking heck plug-in PNP BIOS isn't enabled, and even that took like 15 minutes, didn't even live stream that. Turns out we disabled that because first I take a look into kernel config, it looks like it should work. Like, for example, it could also be marked broken or expert or whatnot, but it wasn't. It looked like it should work, but somehow didn't. Then I looked into our T2 config, didn't instantly find it, because usually we have that in architecture x86 and stuff. Then what did I next? Yeah, then I debugged, then I looked into the T2 build. We save my deplo.config steps, so we have in the kernel directory we have .config 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for first auto config, then enabling all modules, and so we save each step exactly for this case to debug where config options disappear or appear. And turns out in the very last step it disappeared. And then I looked into our sources, and the last step is actually our disable completely broken stuff. And then I was like, but it's not in there, until I read our own freaking source code. This is why the whole thing could easily more than 10 minutes, maybe 15. Today I learned we even had bitrot and stuff we had here in Linux. Even I didn't remember that anymore. So we have this file since revision 1 initial report in 2003. And only today I discovered that purely accidentally, because I didn't even remember that, right? I fixed stuff for 20 years. I totally forgot about this file. So we had Linux package kernel. This is a list of too broken to even try to build, right? And that's 20 years old. And in this list was PNP BIOS. And this is why it took me even 10 minutes to find that, because I didn't even know this place. So it turns out I, probably, or someone else, maybe me, in 2.6.0 test 4 compiles but freezes on boot. It's like for 25 years we had either PNP or either or a little bit more than either PNP BIOS support disabled. Today I learned we had that file. And of course I delete this now. So I'm also apparently even some old, many of those obsolete, didn't build anymore, like old driver and whatnot. So most of the stuff here is YOLO, doesn't exist anymore. We don't want FB Radeon old. Like, who wants in 2004 the old Radeon driver? Like, yes, in 2004 they had rewritten a new Radeon driver. This kind of stuff, right? But this was in there. So we even improve. Also, this were also old. Like, remember 20 years ago or so when 2.6 had like USB full HID keyboard and like USB boot protocol mini build keyboard and mouse, and it's like, yeah, don't build this shit because it's too minimal to be usable. Too minimal for me. It's like, yeah, barely works. Yeah. So yeah, this kind of stuff. So anyway. Now we remove this. So much to playing with vintage and retro. Hey, I found some bitrot. So remove 20-year-old and obsolete Linux disable broken list. So much to supporting vintage and retro can also sometimes, as usual, there's always a win-win, right? There's always this works better, that works better, this bug, that bug. Some hidden config states that we didn't like. Hey, even I delete stuff when it's truly useless and stuff. Then I delete it. So yeah, unfortunately it didn't fix because my goal was that Gravis ultrasound or so, or OPL3 autoloads, but it didn't. I have it on my, fear not, I have it as 0.714 in my never-ending to-do list. So eventually I will try to make ISA PNP autoload. I don't know, maybe it's not implemented in UDEV. We will take a look, probably. This is, I mean, I should write my microkernel, but then T2 is getting so perfect, it's like, it would be a shame not to perfect it further, right? You remember, but why do you not write a Gravis ultrasound or OPL3 driver for your microkernel? Yes, we will, sometime soon, hopefully. It's just like, have you seen what in an amazing clean state T2 Linux is? And stuff works that nowhere else works, and people run it in their Windows subsystem for Linux and their Docker and stuff. So yeah, let's see performance. That was the goal of this, right? Of this rebuild that we committed already. And here we have performance. Oh, it performs a little bit better for some reason. So yeah, this build was nah. I could, you know what? I could normal reboot. We could actually test that if it's, you know what, we have that time, right? You want to know that, I want to know that, let's reboot. If we just reboot without kexec and we boot into my last production kernel. And we could give it one last quick, how long do we, probably 1 hour? Not even 1 hour, we are so efficient today. Yeah, if you have any comments, leave them in the comments below. Did I sleep my 59? Somehow the LED doesn't. And what have I done with? Hello? Did I not suspend that? Or did it not suspend? I mean, it's not impossible that after kexec, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if after what? Ah, there is also some. How was that so defect in the? It should blink, right? I mean, since the last BIOS update, this board is really confused. This BIOS, I mean, we need open software. It's because the bloody LED, I'm pretty sure it should blink, right? And also, I mean, the bloody onboard, they have, I mean, other people have a closed case, but I have a tempered glass case here. It's like the whole bloody board is fucking black. Like, you can't make this stuff up. This worked for years, and their last BIOS update has broken the bloody standby LED on the bloody logic board. I'm slightly wondering that. I mean, maybe kexec. I mean, I think there was something that this board really didn't like kexec for some reason. I think this board does not fully like kexec, or yeah, this board was somehow stuck in some suspend state. Thank you very much. Yeah, x86 too complex for suspend to work reliably. So what we test now is that is some older kernel. Oh, anyway, we test, you know what, we test anyway apples and oranges. Okay, this is mighty old. Did I run this previously in production? Boot 6.8. Okay, I previously did run that. Okay, that's not even 6.7 for reasons. Probably I should. Also, the other kernel, yeah, it's a little bit apples and oranges in the previous kernel. Just let's get a ballpark figure of that even is accurate and wasn't suspend multiple. Maybe I should plug in a display here and see if it has any post output. No, I I mean, maybe it does, but DDR4 didn't post that long. Oh, darn, I hate when shit breaks. Somehow this board is now majorly confused. Shit, I hate when stuff is confused. Nah. Cool. Suspend and kexec confused the heck out of this board. Amazing. It's about the state of quality that you would expect, right? Somehow it doesn't post now. That is somehow not very... Why would it not post now? Somehow... I mean, maybe, apparently... kexec and suspend and you bloody... I mean, maybe it clobbered its own bloody NVRAM. Would not be a first for x86 code, BIOS code quality. Yeah, I probably should boot my workstation more often into the latest kernel. But also, this really doesn't post now, it's ridiculous. This behaves so strange now. Oh, fuck, as if I have nothing else to do than NVRAM resetting this. This is a board. I think this is a board that burned the previous 5950X memory channel, right? So much to how nervous are you? Okay, give it one more because the LED was also strange there. I mean, it has like 4 onboard LEDs or so for standby power and CPU boost and VGA post and DDR. I'm not even sure how many LEDs were on previously. Yeah, but it's, oh no, but one LED turns off. But somehow some blue or white should light up and it doesn't, whatever the color was. That is really... why does this shit always need to happen? I really don't deserve that. I probably should switch to RISC machines. I probably should, you know what, I should wire a bloody button, a switch to the NVRAM. I need for this kind of hardware quality from Intel and AMD, you need a permanently attached NVRAM reswitch button. I mean, I recently, I know, okay, it's a little bit faster, but I think, I mean, there's a little bit generations between that, right? Okay, this will not give us another history. What was it? Yeah, there is at least between those older kernels, so some is real. A little bit was memory fragmentation and whatnot, or other whatever. So the difference is not as because 12 seconds was really, but also it became slower, right? We were close to 4 minutes and now we are basically, it's 25% slower than it was a year ago. Just with the only constant is change and more and source increase. So NVRAM reset, it's a little bit annoying to reach. very hard to see there, down at the bottom. Let's hope this recovers. I would not want another 1550 expert memory channel. One was enough. Does this also doesn't have PS2. Okay, it reset quickly. This is, yeah, what is it even? It's, no, I don't have. Yeah, okay, at least it comes. Okay, it's still posted here, so yeah, x86, what should I say? Too complex for AMD and Intel to implement error-free plus modern technology, PCIe Gen 5. Also, this only has 4. DDR4, DDR5, basically everything too complex for binary-only commercial software vendors. So that's for this video. We probably repost it on YouTube as it was a relatively successful thing. Don't delay, try the last Linux you will ever need today. Share, like, and subscribe. Maybe go fix some bugs, rebase some stuff. Have fun with your devices, and I hope to see you soon for the next fun stuff, patches, code, and so on to come.